Hello, and welcome to Pod of the Week, a place where I get to share my thoughts on pods I think you need to know about. Today I want to talk about a pod which is excellent for some holiday listening, to expand your mind and your imagination of what is possible through being brave and wanting to discover what is beautiful about this planet of ours. And so today I want to invite you to listen to a podcast called Ruth Millington's Extreme Holiday Podcast. These are stories and conversations of inspiring people who have done inspiring things and just explore this beautiful planet of ours. This is from a podcaster who is an award-winning speaker, writer, journalist, podcaster. This is definitely a podcast that will pique your imagination and hopefully inspire you to get up off the couch and go explore this beautiful planet of ours. To give you an idea of what I'm talking about, like the one is walking barefoot across Britain, summiting 21 of the world's highest islands, spending 5 weeks in Colombia. I mean, these are just to name a few. If you want to know what this podcast sounds like, then have a listen.
You are listening to a Ruth Millington Extreme Holidays podcast. Extreme stories from extraordinary destinations as told by intrepid world travellers. Presented by travel writer and adventure junkie Ruth Millington, survivor and heroine of the 2003 BAM earthquake in Iran.
Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of my Extreme Holidays podcast. The podcast which shares the stories of travellers who've had amazing and often life-changing experiences and adventures whilst on the road. I'm Ruth Millington, an award-winning writer, blogger and travel expert. In this episode, I'm speaking to the barefoot backpacker who is a mad traveller like me. He's travelled all over the world and got himself into some hairy situations. But today we are focusing closer to home and discussing his epic 57-day, 952-mile trek from the furthest easterly point of Great Britain to the furthest westerly point, which he began in May 2019. BB, who has a big following on social media and hosts his own podcast show called Travel Tales Beyond the Brochure, describes himself as a middle-aged cynical hippie, a control freak who hates commitment. Taking as inspiration such diverse elements as Michael Palin, 18th century diplomats and the littlest hobo, his aim is to see as much of the unusual, the unknown and the unappreciated as he possibly can. So without further ado, let's travel the world together. Welcome to the show. Where are you talking to me from?
Hello, I'm in a flat in Glasgow.
I'm just fascinated by this brilliant trip that you did across England. But one thing I did notice is from your website, you love to travel all around the world and meet new people and cultures. So why did you choose England and this particular route?
Well, it's one of those things that I'm a big fan of hometown travel because everywhere is interesting and everywhere has a reason to be. And I just figured that a lot of people, travel around the world to visit, a waterfall or an historic building. And I think we don't really concentrate a lot on our hometowns much.
So if you're looking for a podcast that is jam-packed with inspiring stories of the enduring human spirit and the beauty of the planet that we live on, then this is the podcast for you. So remember, pods are not for some, they're for everyone.